the Sylvia Collection Turmeric Mint Bars, made with organic turmeric oil and turmeric powder. First half of my white base is going to be just the white. It's going to be very thin layer. I'm not even going to put it in the container. So first I'm going to spread alcohol. And then I'm going to pour my first very thin layer. Very, very thin. And make sure it gets to the top. I have to turn this way. All right, so we're gonna enter in a half a tablespoon of turmeric into the white, directly to the white base. I'm gonna mix it up. I like to put the turmeric in the white base because then it when you put turmeric in a clear base, you're gonna get like an orangey color. So this alright. Now this is like steaming hot, y'all. Make sure I'm turning down these heat, turn everything to warm. Okay, you can't see my mixing. There you go, you can see my mixing. This is the mixing one. Now let's look back at this layer. You can see it's pretty solid. And then this is really hot. So the heat, remember, heat melts your soap. So the heat from this liquid layer is what's gonna help you create those swirls in your soap. Well, let me spread with alcohol, and then remember to spread with alcohol. Alcohol is gonna allow your layers to stick. And then kind of do like a drop. Where I think that layer was pretty hard because it was like a very thin layer. That's okay, it'll still stick. It'll actually rise because of how hot this is. So like that. So I'm gonna spray this with alcohol. Now I get the clear base, which already has the liquid, already has our oils and essential oil. Just off to the side, mixing it here. I'm gonna pour about half of it, a little half of it, and the rest of it, it's gonna be that blue layer. So we're gonna pour this to get it to pierce some, and then we're gonna let it sit, because then we want a clear layer. And while we're letting that sit, we're going to enter in the blue top layer over here. Gotta make sure it's a nice blue. Nice minty fresh blue. Okay, now I like to do a wiggle test and like instead of like using a thermometer. Okay, I use the swirl test here too to test the fluidity of it. It's like, okay, it's still piercing holes. That's because it's hot and that layer is not too thin. My next one, I don't want it to like pierce the thin holes. Okay. So while we're waiting on that to set, I'm going to get my calendula herb top. Didn't have this light on. Didn't have my lights on. setting already. Then I have my blue layer still mixing. Opening up the soap base, opening up the soap, the melted soap, to allow air to get in to kind of cool it down. And then we see this is setting up. We still want to be pierceable here. So we want, okay. Let that sit some more. Sometimes when you're working with the white base, just makes it a little hard to work with to create these swirls, especially when you're adding in a powder. So we have the powder, powdered turmeric in this white layer of soap, and it was the what was it, the second layer, and it rises. You'll notice that you'll find it easier to swirl with a clear soap base, but I always, let me tell you, just give you a tip, I always mix it in with a white or with this is more like pastel. Well, it's still yellow because it's turmeric. Put a lot of turmeric in there. So yeah, you'll notice that the clear soap base, the ones that when you add the mica into the clear soap base, that they're just a little bit more easier to work with to create swirls. But always put in a white, a color. That's my tip, soap tip, to help differentiate the Watts. So see how it's coming up? Looking like the earth, the ocean as it rises. And that's okay, because we still gonna get some swirls through that bad boy. I like to call it just sometimes soap have a mind of their own. Have a mind of its own and does what it wants to do. Spray alcohol. These layers too stick, even though they're gonna stick because they're melting through. See, still coming up, still coming up. You know what? I'm gonna try to bust through your little here, hit it in the middle, separate you a little up top. Hit it. Just sinking right through, madam, stinking true. I'm gonna show you guys how different this is versus like a glow bar where there's no powdered particles in there, and when you're not using as much white base. So this one I use half white and half clear, so we can add the turmeric powder. It's always turmeric powder, like I was saying, looks best in white base. And this is a turmeric mint bar, and it needed to have enough turmeric in there in order for it to be, to be efficient, to be effective, as we say it is, as we would want it to be. You gotta put enough of that turmeric powder in there. Base this with some calendula herbs because it's yellow and it's aesthetically pleasing, and a yellow soap, yellow and blue, perfect differentiation. That blue is to remind us that this is a minty bar, loads of peppermint and loads of eucalyptus. Now, back to the turmeric. As you can see, it's not too dark. Too much turmeric, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, these are some powerful, potent ingredients. You gotta use the right amounts. Okay, you're done. This is our turmeric mint soap bar, topped with calendula herbs. We got turmeric powder and turmeric oil in this. And it's scented with peppermint and eucalyptus. So it's a minty fresh bar. Let's get our scale. Scale right here. I'll wait before I put on. Ooh, look how pretty this came out. And it's minty fresh as always. As always. Beautiful bar. So each bar weighs about 6 ounces. You can see your turmeric. This yellow is turmeric. There's no mica. There's no yellow mica in this bar. It's straight turmeric. No colorants other than the turmeric powder itself. So this bar helps to reduce acne and dark spots. So it helps you to get rid of those acne and the marks that they come with. It helps to revive your skin natural glow. So this bar is one of those bars that I love to use as a face bar to go along with our glow collection, the glow scrub and the glow serum. On the website, you'll see this under the face collection because this is a face bar. This is a face favor. This bar, because of the amount of turmeric in there, it helps to soothe eczema flares. It has just the right amount of turmeric where it does not disturb the skin. It actually helps to soothe the skin. So along with the turmeric powder, this bar has avocado oil, coconut oil, hemp oil, turmeric oil, eucalyptus essential oil, peppermint essential oils, and this dried calendula for the aesthetics on top. It also have a bit of a blue mica to go ahead and bring in that blue so we could get the turmeric mint vibes.